What is going on, everybody? It is NSFW, not safe for wrestling. And as you guys know, we are, of course, the wrestling show dedicated to all things wrestling, TNA, New Japan, Ring of Honor, WWE. Usually a heavy focus on WWE, can't even play. And as always, I'm here joined by my tag team partner in crime, Obi1X2. Go ahead and say hi to the people.
As I jump off the apron and say, "You're on your own."
And all of a sudden, I'm going to need someone to RKO him out of nowhere. Can I get an RKO out of nowhere?
Randy Orton.
Leave him like Chris Jericho.
Wait, now?
Wait,
now?
Maybe now?
Maybe now?
Maybe now.
Yeah. What's up, guys? NSFW here live, and, well, we're not live, but like I said to you, on, I believe, Horseplay, we're going to be doing one live show a month. More than likely, we'll be doing two, with both pay-per-views up. And then we're going to record the rest. So you guys still get your shows, and we still can say, hey, listen to us, because we're here. So, what's up? What we got on the card today, man? Actually, we need to do some shout-outs.
Go ahead and do the shout-outs, and then I will cover what we got on the card.
Big stuff we got going on, guys. We do make sure that we do want to say big shout-outs to, of course, hashtag the gang. You guys know them as geekantics.net. You guys can go check them guys out. Check us out. Well, us, I guess. Yeah. Go check us out right there, geekantics.net. And, of course, if you guys want to tweet at us, you guys can tweet at geekantics, at geekantics, at TSE Blades, at TSE Obi-Wan. Now, for Blades, you guys actually have two of them. He actually has Fatal. You guys F8TL Blades. You guys go check that out. And just give us a follow, man. That would be pretty much appreciated. So then when you guys do see us doing or hear about us, oh my God, are they doing their show today? And we might have already done it and just recorded it. You guys don't know what's going on. So, and of course, we want to make sure we give big shout outs to, of course, our sister, I guess, affiliate.
Yeah.
Allgames.com and, of course, unifiedcombatleague.com. You guys do want to send us a voicemail, you guys can. Now, that's voicemails for text and voicemails. Voicemail is 2646-801-2149. Again, you guys can text in what you want. Now, make sure that you spell correctly, because if you don't, when we actually transcribe that voicemail, and it has a whole bunch of fucked up shit, like maybe you heard on Thursday with Tim Curtis Jr., because he was drunk. But yeah, send us something, guys. We'd love to hear it from you. And, of course, if you guys want to send us some email, mail@geekantics.net. All yours, pal. Tag
All right. So, looking at what we have for the show in the undercard, we are going to be talking, probably for the last time, about the brand split and kind of how the brand split actually went down, what it looked like, and how our predictions kind of lined up with it. We are going to be talking Obi predominantly is going to be talking the Cruiserweight Classic tournament. And, of course, maybe a short, small visit over to how the BattleGround event went compared to what we thought and where we believe the future is going to be headed. Also, a little bit of talk about what happened on the last SmackDown and Raw, the first SmackDown Live, if you will, and the last Raw. So that's kind of what's coming up, guys. A lot to look forward to there. So, looking at it from here, let's just jump right into it. Go straight for it. The brand splits, Raw and SmackDown. What do you think, man? Like, compared to what we had, what they actually drafted, let's take a look at what they drafted here. Can't lie, round one draft surprised the hell out of me.
So let's talk a little bit about the brand split in general. What kind of led up to it? What kind of happened? And then we'll kind of go over their actual results. And then, like we said, we'll kind of tie in. Hey, I picked this guy, maybe not first or second, but I picked this guy. We found that you want to say about 90%. We were about 90% right.
It was up there. It was
to
pretty
the
high
point
up
when
there.
they were getting drafted. I'm like, well, I picked that guy, or hey, I picked that whole team, and or whatever. And on top of it, we really didn't understand how the drafts went, because how it is on WWE. I guess you could do it because it was a solo draft. So like you chose where they went on there. We basically took that off and said, okay, Blades is Raw, OB is SmackDown, and we kind of picked our teams. So it kind of went almost to the point where it was almost right on, which was really, really cool because we're sitting there watching the draft on the 60-inch in the living room, and we're like, oh my god, that happened. Oh my god, we did it again. Like we were right a lot. So what led up to this? Now, for me, in my eyes, and Blades might say something different because he has a little bit more perspective into all of this. I see kind of what's going on the outside. What led up to it? Led up to it where Stephanie and Hunter were did your shit just break? Where Stephanie and Hunter basically were running Raw and SmackDown, and things were coming out of control, right? Well, all of a sudden, Balo's boy, big Shane O'Mac, here come the money. Here come the money. dollar bills, y'all, right? So he came out and said, I have to have Raw. Or, yeah, I have to have it. Well, Vince Sr.'s like, well, no. You walked away. Well, then it come down to, he goes, well, I bailed you out. And the reactions that people got, we all know when a wrestler or even Vince makes a face, it's all planned, right? We already know that. We already know. Now, sometimes. Because, like, when Chris Jericho was biting in on Stephanie about a decade ago, some of that shit wasn't planned. He said what was off the top of his head, which basically he called her everything, right? A hoe. Just everything under the book was, you're such a slut.
Filthy, dirty, bottom-feeding trash bag hoe.
Quote, unquote, right? You remember that, don't you? That's pretty sick. Remember that. But so what happened is at WrestleMania, Vince McMahon said, you know what? If you participate in a match and you win that match, I'll give you whatever the fuck you want. Well, the match was none other than Mr. WrestleMania, not Shawn Michaels, but the other 21-1. Sorry, I have to say it. 23 and was back in the day. So Mr. 23-1 WrestleMania, the man himself, The Undertaker. So immediately Shane's eyes, dude, just throw it away and go buy a new one. They're like $2, really. So Mr. McMahon or Shane was right off the bat was like, oh, Undertaker. Well, they had a big old thing with his kids, and his kids were actually kind of nervous, and he's like, oh, it's okay. Daddy's going to be fine. Daddy's going to do this. He's going to be fine. No problem. Trying to explain to him. And if you guys have not seen it, the Undertaker Shane McMahon match, one of the best matches that I have seen in forever. Right? I'm sorry, it was just one of those matches where if you haven't seen it, to get the WWE Network for only $9.99, and to be able to watch just that match, that match right there is worth $9.99, and then you got it for a whole month. Go get it and watch it, guys. It was just crazy. Well, let's see what happened next. After, during the match, and not only was it against the Undertaker, it was Hell in a Cell. So if you guys know, and you guys have been following any sorts of WWE for any amount of time, Hell in a Cell is made for The Undertaker. Like, it was one of his. I'm surprised if it wasn't his fucking idea. Right? I'm surprised it wasn't his idea. Like, literally him saying, hey, Vince, let's just call it Hell in a Cell and name it after me, blah, blah, blah. You got the Brothers of Destruction.
I mean, he kind of did. That's right. Where we saw Kane. It was.
Isn't
Undertaker,
that where debuted? Wasn't it Hell in a
Undertaker.
Cell versus Undertaker?
No, it was Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Undertaker, Hell in the Cell, and then Kane came and ripped the door off. And
yeah, with the lock on and everything.
Went into the Hell in the Cell, beat the crap out of the Undertaker to get Shawn Michaels the win.
So if you guys think about it, this has been going on for a long time. So anyway, fight ensued. Undertaker's taking beatings. Shane's taking an enormous amount of beatings. Cage is used all over. And then near the end of the match, they came up and Shane, he just looked up and looked at the crowd. He looked up again. He did this 3 times. And the 3rd time he looked up, the crowd finally got what he was doing. And they were like, no, no. And then some were like, yeah. Screaming bloody murder, going, get up there and jump. He's like, okay, fuck it. He scales the fence, scales the cage. And I want to let you guys know, this is a 25-foot tall cage. It's not just to cover the ring, and it's 25 feet to the top of the cross member on the cage. Shane gets up there, standing up. So you go 25, add another 6 foot. So ultimately, he's over 30 feet high at his head level. What does he do? The righteous elbow drop? What's his elbow drop called?
It's usually coast to coast, but in that instance, it was just insane off the top of the cage, like off the top.
And
of the
Undertaker
cell.
was on the announce table, and he get ready. 3, 2, 1. Undertaker, you're seeing him coming at the last minute. Roll out of the way. Shane took the full brunt force of that fall onto the table all on his own, which Undertaker got him back, got him in, pinned him, blah, blah, blah. Game over. Well, the stipulation was for Shane, if he lost, go away. Wasn't it? You just leave. Go away.
Yeah, if he lost, he got nothing and just left. He also had to give Vince the blackmail documents that we never heard anything else about.
So we got the blackmail, quote-unquote, blackmail documents. He got those. But then Shane came back the following Monday. Actually, it was the next day, wasn't it? Because he was all fucked.
Yeah, it was the very next Monday Night Raw, because there was a big, according to Vince, a big social media outcry, although all of our social media outcry to get Roman Reigns the hell off the product hasn't been heard. Apparently, the ones to get Shane McMahon in the product are all there.
Definitely. And what it come down to, are you muting? Okay. I was like, you're not keying up at all. But what it came down to is Shane's like, I don't want to do it, and I want to be here, and basically he came out and said, you know what? Thank you, everybody. His dad said no. Thank you, everybody. I want to thank you for all the warm welcome, and he pounded his chest, started walking out. Well, Vince being the way he is, oh my God, nobody's gonna stand me up. Nobody's gonna outshine me. So he's like, get over here, rah, 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 rah. And then he goes, you know what? Let's see what you got. Let him run Monday Night Raw for, 3 weeks? If you're good this week, we'll have you back next week, blah, blah, blah. Well, about 2 or 3 weeks went by. And then now Stephanie finally came in. They had a family discussion. I got air quotes going, boys. Got family discussion and in the ring. And they actually says, you know what, this is what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. I'll make a decision on who's going to run what. That's when they announced the brand split, saying this is going to be this is going to be this. And I'll make a decision in a couple weeks. Everything went by. Everything was going. Shane was raw. I was looking at some of the ratings numbers, and it was, since Shane was on there, the ratings actually went up a little bit. You can't go up too much because you got millions and millions and millions of people watching, because that many people have fucking the WWE Network for only
$9.99.
Yes. I'm running the show today without headphones, so I had to point at him when I want him to talk. So it's like, but he came out and everything was great, and well, Raw SmackDown time. He goes, well, the decision is final. Whatever I say goes, blah, blah, blah. Well, for Shane to come back, run Monday Night Raw, and be fairly successful at it, in my eyes. And then for him to dance around like he did, like he thought he won the freaking jackpot, right? And when he goes, the what is it? Not owner, not general manager. Is it general man? No, it's not general manager. What's their title?
For what, Raw and SmackDown? Yeah. The commissioner. The commissioner
of SmackDown Live. And then he paused because Vince's pause for dramatic effect thing he's got going on. Shane McMahon. And Shane just blows up and runs a freaking 20 laps around the ring. Here comes the money. All this stuff. And then he goes, all right, Shane, you're going to run SmackDown Live, but you are no longer allowed to do anything. Have nothing to do with Raw. Because he basically told his kids, straight up, guys, this is what I want. I want you to fight. I want you to battle. I want you to everything to have. I'm trying to sound a little bit like Vince and it's not working. But I want you to have everything. Ratings. What's the merchandising, everything, right? Everything is a challenge to them, and whoever wins. Well, I don't think there's any end goal with this little challenge, but basically that's what he said. I want you guys just fight, scrap, because at first he came out and I forgot about this. The first thing he said, he goes, "Stephanie, what is wrong with you?" Like straight up, just dissed his daughter right after. Like, I thought you were more ruthless than this. What is wrong with you? Like, you're working together? Really? And she's like, wait, I thought that's what we had to do. What? So basically, Shane kind of got into her brain a little bit and let him do basically anything he wanted on Raw for the next week. But anyway, Raw is now run by Stephanie McMahon, and we'll get into who they. You want to just say the commission or the GMs right now?
Yeah, of course.
And she announced the GM of your everybody's favorite hardcore crazy motherfucker, Mick Foley. Hell yeah! Wait, come on. Tell me your thoughts about that. When you heard that, what was your thoughts? Honest thoughts.
I was pretty excited. At the same time, it was funny because I just watched a YouTube video where they did like the 5 people we want as GM and the 5 people we least want as GM, and Mick Foley managed to somehow make both lists.
Yes, he was number 5 least, or number 3 on.
Right, and I thought that was pretty.
No, it was vice versa.
No, you were right. It was 5th on the ones we would least want, and 3rd on the most want, and it was just hilarious. When I saw him, I was like, it fits him. We've seen him as a GM before. I liked him. In this time, it's not going to be.
Skills ain't like they used to be, though.
Well, it's not going to be as shticky. Like, we're not going to have the whole, Gabble and Mr. Sacco as like co-GM and it's things like that. I think it's a good place for Foley to kind of showcase more of what he could do in a non-comedic capacity, because the Dude Love thing was always kind of a comedy angle, and he's had many comedy angles, but when he gets to do just straight shoots, those are pretty good too, but a lot of people haven't got to see them. They were more ECW based, like back in old ECW, kind of like Steve Austin.
Well, what's that called when he says the city like 8 times?
Oh, the cheap pop.
Yeah,
the cheap pop. Every time he's just like, we're right here in Cleveland, Ohio. That cheap pop. I mean,
it's like now people are looking for that and going, yeah, good one, not really.
I mean, but it always gets the crowd to pop off because they're like, he said the name of our city and our state. Yeah. Represent our hometown, yeah. So I mean, that's just kind of what he does.
I'm not knocking him for it, but it's just everybody's looking at it and going, "God, another cheap pop." Well, the people on TV especially because if I'm not mistaken, and I'm not going to quote them because I don't do that, but if guys from What Culture, if I get this wrong, please say something to me, I think one of the reactions, because I was watching part of the reaction show when that happened, and the reaction was like, really, another pop? That's all they said. Like another cheap one, another cheap pop. Here we go. And then you got that fat king that was on.
King Ross.
King Ross.
The king. Like, I am a loyal subject. Just saying.
I want to overthrow him.
Good luck.
Like, oh, King Ross, I'm coming for your crown.
King Ross is a beast.
King Ross, I am coming for your crown, sir. Make it be known. Yeah, say my name in what culture. That'd be awesome.
He'll probably talk to Pachidi and get Rampage. He'll borrow Rampage.
Well, you know who I'm going to borrow?
You're screwed. Have you seen Rampage?
Well, you know what? I'll call up Brock Lesnar and say, hey, dude, Rampage is talking shit about you. Come take care of him. Hey, my name is Obi-Wan X2. I am here to entertain you. I'm not here to fight. I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. Unless I just want to punch something and you just happen to be in my way. No, I'm not that kind of guy. I don't punch things. I just... Guys, all right, so we're down to the brand split. Okay, we've been talking about it. We gave you guys who's running what. You got Stephanie McMahon with Mick Foley as her GM. Now, SmackDown Live, which is on Tuesday now, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Yeah, 8 o'clock. So I'm thinking, well, let's say this first. Of course, you guys know the commissioner, Shane McMahon, Mr. Money, money in the pockets, dollar bills, everything. The shuffle, was it the Shane Shuffle? What they call it?
Yeah, the Shane
McMahon
goes
back and forth,
pretty much.
Now this is something that we have said for a while now. What's Shane going to come back and do? He's going to take all the new guys, or take a lot of the new guys, and just give them chances, or give some of the people that have chance. A perfect example, Zack Ryder. Anyway, we'll get into that in a little bit. But his GM is none other than the yes man. Yes. Daniel Bryan. Your thoughts on him?
I like Daniel Bryan in the GM role. I'm glad to see him be able to do more, ever since he had to, like Edge, he had to retire, and that was unfortunate, especially height of his popularity, again, just like Edge, wound up being stuck retiring. Him coming back in any capacity, I mean, he was great for the business. He was huge for WWE.
Well, he's the little guy can succeed, basically.
Well, I mean, like, Sami Zayn calls himself the underdog from the underground. I think, if you look before Sami Zayn, it was Daniel Bryan. Everyone always said he wasn't going to get his push, and we saw him in Nexus, and then everyone thought they just kind of squashed him. And what was it? The Core. They squashed, he just got squashed over and over until they finally pushed him, and then they pushed him, and unfortunately he had to retire right at the edge of the probably biggest time for the Yes movement. And that was a huge storyline, and he kind of made that work. It's like New Day, they weren't really handed much, but man, they made what they wanted to work. And
well, and they kept coming up with ideas, and the only thing Vince would say was, yeah, definitely, let's do it. Yeah. Because it was good. It was good. I mean, look how far they've gone. Booty-O's is becoming a real cereal.
Yep.
Come on, damn it. Next time I see them, we're going to get some Booty-O's and let you know how they are. We've discussed this already.
Yeah.
I'm actually the preview guy.
Review.
Review guy, sorry.
Review.
And Blades is the...
I'm the motivational
the motivational guy. So
I'm the guy who will convince you to believe.
Oh my God! Did you see? Dude, you need to get on the network and watch Superstars, because Bo was back up at his believe, and then he got pissed off again. I see him flipping out and taking on what you said earlier with some of the Wyatt family, and saying,
that'd be awesome.
Hey, let's see if little brother can do it better.
At least give him some kind of story push, and I think, if they gave him any kind of Wyatt push, it would be huge.
Yeah, it would be. All right, so we got the commissioners of both. We've got the GMs of both. So, let's do it. The WWE Draft 2016. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep doing this and do it every year. That'd be awesome. do they need to try to think of saying, hey, these people are locked into to SmackDown or Raw? Or do they just do a whole draft again?
I mean, honestly, they'll probably, if this lasts longer than a year, it'll be like before, where every year they redraft rosters with all this potential.
Mm-hmm. Well, because you got all the NXT guys coming up.
Yeah, I mean, there's always room for the NXT 6-pack, or the NXT 6, if you will, like they did with this last draft.
Mm-hmm. I was watching NXT on WWE Network for only $9.99. Is that like our little cheap shot right there?
That's basically your cheap pop. That is your
pop.
version of the cheap pop. Is
So
you mention the network for $9.99.
I'm gonna just say it. I'm sorry. I believe in it. WWE, get us on a real podcast. But do you think? I forgot. Anyway, I was watching NXT the other day, or yesterday, and Blake and Murphy, they're kind of split up now, right?
Yeah.
So then Blake goes, well, I'm going to go battle Shinsuke Nakamura and whoop his ass. Well, of course, Shinsuke beat the living shit out of him. And then he goes, well, you know what? I'm going to go battle the next up-and-comer in the CWC. Well, you know who that is, right?
No.
The Japanese kicker. He's got the short hair. I can't even pronounce it. I'm not even going to say his name.
Okay.
He's the guy. He's the basically they call him the best striker in the cruiserweight.
Oh, like the cruiserweight strong style guy? Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, guy. He's got shorter black hair, and then he's got that baby face. Well, all Japanese have baby faces.
I can't remember his name.
Okay, anyway, well, he got his ass kicked too. So you had Shinsuke. This is the funny part. Both people that they battle were Japanese, and they both kicked their ass. I'm just saying. I'm just putting that out there. But we're going to get right into the draft, guys. Now we'll go and we'll kind of do a thing where, of course, Blades is going to be Raw. I will be SmackDown. And we will, for round number 1, first pick, Raw is going to pick.
Oh, no. Why should we do it that way? Let's just talk about how the draft was. Picks we agree with, picks we don't agree with. I mean...
All right, so we'll go through the first round. You just want to go through the first round, see all of them, and then talk about it?
Okay. So Seth Rollins got drafted to Raw as the number 1 pick in the draft. Of course, SmackDown takes Dean Ambrose. Raw, remember, now the rules were Raw gets 3 picks to SmackDown's 2. So Raw gets Charlotte in the 2nd pick, or 3rd overall. AJ gets drafted to SmackDown as the 4th pick, and the 5th pick, and Raw drafts Finn Balor from NXT.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the 6 NXT draft picks were right off the bat in round 1. I liked the Finn Balor pick, the AJ Styles pick, and the Charlotte pick, but oddly enough, I don't think Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose were round 1 picks, not in my book. I think that Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose were like strong round 2, round 3 picks, but not round 1 picks. But they've been doing work. Like Dean, I think those went as the picks because of their basic prediction for championship. They were like, well, SmackDown's going to back Dean Ambrose because Dean Ambrose will have the title, and Raw is like, well, we'll take Seth Rollins because Seth Rollins is going to take the title, and of course, no one wanted Roman Reigns first round.
Oh,
not even the fans.
And the funny thing is Stephanie did not want Roman Reigns, and Mick Foley says, "Well, he's good for business, and we need to have him. We're going to pick Roman Reigns." Well, you guys will see that in a minute.
I mean, either way, no one technically wants Roman. What can I say?
And it was actually the next
wellness
round,
policy violation.
For me, I honestly think the first 5 were just to say this is what we're going to do. Of course, they're trying to pick, in the first round, I think Raw was kind of going for champions. Especially you get the Seth Rollins, which is, he's the guy they've been building up for the last 2 months. Just going at it. Dean Ambrose is that crazy son of a bitch that nobody wants to succeed. But guess what? SmackDown Live does. You got Daniel Bryan, Mr. Underdog. That's what I'm just gonna call him. And then you got Shane McMahon that says, I'm giving to give people that haven't had a chance. There you go. Raw picking Charlotte I think it was a really good pick because then they're starting out that women's division. It's a strong champion, not anymore, but and then you got AJ Styles going to SmackDown. I loved it. I love that pick. I did. I loved it a lot. The one thing that I didn't think they were going to pick from NXT yet is in the first round. I thought they were going to go somebody else. Like maybe a Brock Lesnar or which they got him, but maybe like a Randy Orton or something like that. But anyway, round 2, Raw's first pick in round 2. This is where Mick Foley says, you know what, Steph, we need to have him. They're going to pick Roman Reigns. Because if you think about it, why I think they pick Roman Reigns is because the championship match was happening the following week. Can't say it's not.
Yeah, but I mean, wellness violation. Wellness policy violation. I think it was a terrible... Roman should not have gone anywhere in the first 5 rounds of draft pick with that wellness violation. Because if he gets another one, what are they going to do with a 90-day suspended superstar? I think it's stupid.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. Everyone, Roman's there, but he's got no real persona. They're pushing the guy, and I think that's a terrible persona. They're trying to make him this anti-hero, but he's not pulling it off. Fans are booing him. It's the whole, I don't care if fans boo me. Well, you should start caring because they're not booing you because, your character's a bad guy. They're booing you because they're not confident in your mic skills and they don't like your storyline.
True. Number 1, first pick in the second round for SmackDown Live is none other than the face of I'm still going to say it, the face of WWE, John Cena.
I was amazed he didn't go to Raw first.
That's what I was thinking. Round 3, they just pick John Cena because that's still going to keep Raw inevitable. Well,
pretty much.
Inevitable is not really the word I want to use.
Huh.
Number 8, overall, Raw's second pick of round 2, Brock Lesnar.
Speaking of wellness violations,
we're
not WWE wellness policy violation, but what
UFC
is it?
Wellness violation.
Yeah, the USDAA, the United States Department of Athletic Association, of violation.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 overall, coming in for the second and final pick for round 2, SmackDown Live, the Viper, Randy Orton.
You also mentioned Brock Lesnar's enhanced performance.
Which, if you guys gotta watch it, it was on SmackDown Live this Tuesday. It was great.
No. His enhanced performance was at BattleGround. The interview with Chris Jericho on the highlight reel. Because that was a shoot right there.
It was slick too. And then number 10, last pick for Raw. Fatal's happy. WWE Tag Team Champions, The New Day.
Because it's a new day.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That one made me pretty ecstatic. Belts going on. Now, I thought at this point, I was thinking, my God, Raw has all the titles. What the damn hell? They don't have the WWE, but they got the Women's Champion. Now they got the Tag Team Champions.
Well, didn't the U.S. Yeah.
You knew they had to get the U.S. Intercontinental because they have to split those across shows. That's the universal rule. So I was like, they're already at least 3 titles deep. They had a bunch of titles already.
Right.
Oh, and they announced that they had the exclusive Cruiserweight Championship. So that's 4 titles deep. They were 4 titles heavy.
Mm-hmm. Well, 5 now.
Well,
we'll talk about that in a second, guys. Round 3, you want to take that? Then I'll comment.
All right, so round 3, first pick for Raw, which surprised me. The underdog from the underground, Sami Zayn.
I really was waiting for him to actually be picked on SmackDown. I was wanting it so bad. I just was. I was really, because he was one of those guys that had come up. He got hurt, had to be put back down, work his way back up again, and then now he's finally back. And it's just, I thought he was going to be on SmackDown. Honestly.
I was pretty shocked when Sami Zayn got picked before Kevin Owens.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kevin Owens is just such a solid workhorse.
And it's not even a couple picks, dude. It's like a round and a half.
Yeah. SmackDown immediately after answered with Bray Wyatt. Not the Wyatt family, but Bray Wyatt.
The Eater of Worlds. I am super stoked about this pick.
I think he'll be good there.
I think they're trying to give him that solo push. He hasn't even been hanging out with what's his name? Who was the guy from SmackDown? He went to SmackDown.
I'm talking about Eric Rowan.
Yeah, he's not even hanging out with Eric Rowan. Like, Eric Rowan's doing his own thing too.
All right, so the next one, Raw drafted Sasha Banks, the boss.
Very depressing in that. I was really hoping that SmackDown would have got her, but her being on Raw and being one of the the premier ladies in the industry.
I mean, I was pretty excited because it gives her a shot at the women's title, because she got drafted to the show with the women's title. So there was a lot of potential there. So I was pretty happy with that. Next, SmackDown Live got Becky Lynch on the draft, which should be pretty good. So, you got any thoughts about Becky Lynch on SmackDown?
I'm glad she went to SmackDown because she was getting overlooked on Raw.
Yeah, I agree. And, she's got a lot more potential for storyline here. Even if she doesn't have a title shot right away, it gives her a chance to develop herself as more of an established non-jobber and then potentially make a title run at one of the big four where they cross over. And last but not least, Chris Jericho got drafted in the final pick of round 3 to Raw, because Raw is Jericho.
And he was pissed. He was so mad. He came out and he goes, what is wrong with you people? Like, why am I number 15 overall? I should have been in the top 5. Like, he was mad. Jericho, you're still in the business. You're not gone yet, but you're kind of washed up, homie. That's all I want to say.
I mean, they treat him like a mid-carder. That's the thing. Like, Jericho's been around. If you think about it, right now, Jericho's one of the seasoned veterans when you really look at the roster, but they still treat him like a mid-carder. I don't know. I think he has the right to be pissed.
And we're going to start going through these a little bit quicker because we got a lot of rounds. I never realized that. Round number 4, Raw picked up the United States champion Rusev with Lana. Anything with that?
No, not really. I thought that was a smart pick because, like I said, we knew each belt was going to go one way or the other.
And then the very next round, the Intercontinental Champion, The Miz with Maurice. So we got Lana, wife now, and then Maurice, Miz's wife. Number 18, Raw then picked up Kevin Owens, which this is what we were talking about. From pick 11 to 18, Kevin Owens was pissed too.
Yeah.
Mad. Number 19, SmackDown Live picked up the Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. It was a good pick, I think. I think he can be something. He's not that bad guy per se, but he's basically what Roman's Reigns tried to be and failed.
Yeah, but I think even for me, because we haven't seen him enough, he's been a low to mid card player. I think Baron Corbin went a lot earlier than he should have, especially when you look at who the very next pick Raw took was.
Yeah. And then the last pick for round 4, Enzo and Cass went to Raw. Anything for that one?
How you doing?
Got some haters. Got some haters up in here. How you doing? Round number 5. I'm letting you have that. Because that's your B club.
Right. Round number 5. First pick, Raw, picked up the club. Gallows and Anderson. It was kind of bad that it didn't go with AJ, but I'm super happy that they got drafted to the show with Finn Balor.
At least AJ Styles gets to beat up John Cena.
But no, I mean they got on the show with Finn Balor, who, for your Bullet Club history moment, was kind of one of the originators in the Bullet Club. So maybe we'll see a little angle there.
He's the one that told everybody to AJ's not a part of this anymore.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Like there's potential storyline maybe carrying from Japan. It'd be nice. Now, the very next draft pick for SmackDown was American Alphas. I got nothing on that. They were from NXT. Amazingly, I'm gonna just spoil it right now. Bayley didn't get drafted at all. I thought that was a freaking travesty. Shinsuke, Joe, Austin Aries, none of them got drafted up. But Shinsuke's still relatively new, and you need him to push the face scene in NXT. Joe's doing really well as a heel. He's probably got another couple months before they bring him up. And of course, Austin Aries probably has like another couple months before he comes up.
Well, you got to realize they don't want to Austin Aries is probably gonna be there for six months. Think about it, dude. You're bringing all these people up, and then you got the only people that you have left are new guys. Like they're NXT. I mean, I don't think NXT will die just because of the fan love for it, and they know what it is. But I think they still need to keep people down there.
Well, they need to work in a swing rotation.
I mean, Shinsuke's probably
as they bring people in, they have to bring people up, and keep NXT at roughly the same roster size, and then bring these guys up. And I mean, with all the injuries, the fact that we have contracts running up. I mean, Del Rio's contract runs up in September if he doesn't renew. Jericho's contract will be up soon. Triple H is only signed to a 3-month, and we haven't seen him do shit.
He's gonna be probably something.
I mean, either way, he's got a 3-month performance contract. We haven't seen him do anything. Guys like Brock Lesnar and Undertaker are part-time guys. It wouldn't hurt to bring up a few more of kind of the new blood. And if you look at it, these are guys who have traditionally had TNA success. And I think part of that is why Vince doesn't want to bring them up. But at the same time, it's absolutely part of the reason he damn sure should. Joe had a super successful title run. Austin Aries, the man who created the Plan C for X Division title, which is still used today, and cashed in for title. It's important. I think it's a damn strong showing from him. And if they gave him a chance to come off his leash and really show up inside of the WWE, they'd have a money-making machine just sitting there.
Right. Well, and I mean, they just need to be careful, though, is what I'm saying. They need to be careful on how many people they bring up. Because, I mean, you bring up the wrong people at the wrong time, I mean, I don't think it'll ever fail, but, I mean, it'll take a serious blow to ratings, to happiness. I mean, because, dude, you think about it, really, fans are a lot more happier now with NXT than they are with the freaking main roster sometimes.
Right.
Because of the, and you got to think a lot of women are on NXT still. So, yeah. All right. Anyway, round 6. Wait. Yeah, we're on
let's do a couple of speed rounds real quick.
Round 6, guys. We're going to go through round 6 and 7. Not going to be talking about these guys too much unless it's somebody really, really popular. Round 6, Raw picked up number 26 with Neville. Natalya actually went to SmackDown Live. Cesaro, I do want to talk something on him. He went to Raw. After that, the same night, he actually came back and said, why? Do you remember what he said exactly? Because I don't want to butcher it.
No, not exactly, but basically, he felt he wouldn't get the opportunities he would have gotten on SmackDown and was disappointed that he got drafted to Raw.
Coming in at number 29, Alberto Del Rio to SmackDown Live. And then Raw's last pick of the round is they picked up the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. Round number 7 started off. I believe this was because they only chose the top 30 live, right?
Yeah.
So these were all announced. These weren't coming around and said Raw picks this. So we're actually going to go fairly quickly through these next ones, and then basically, you guys got any questions, comments, just comment on it, and we'll tell you say something next show. All right, round 31. Golden Truth, the two of them went both to Raw. Usos went to SmackDown Live. Titus O'Neil, Mr. Mr. Grabbing Violation. He actually grabbed fucking Shane's coat too the other day, doing that. Oh, it's like anyway. Demon Kane went to SmackDown Live, and Raw actually picked up Paige. Paige is probably gonna be doing something here pretty soon in the storyline.
Hopefully.
Darren Young with Bob Backlund was drafted to Raw. Kalisto, this is the funny part. The Kalisto was drafted to SmackDown Live, and guess who got Raw? SmackDown. I'm sorry, Raw got SmackDown.
That's awkward. That would be a hell of a
draft. Raw got SmackDown when they had to pull in Sin Cara. Yeah. And then Naomi went to SmackDown Live. Jack Swagger went to Raw. The Ascension both went to SmackDown Live. Round number 9, where the Dudley Boys went to Raw. You can have them. Zack Ryder went to SmackDown Live. Summer Rae went to Raw. Apollo Crews went to SmackDown Live. Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, went to Raw. And then SmackDown Live picked up from NXT Alexa Bliss.
Now, in fairness, I think the Dudleys were a damn good acquisition. I also think they should have went earlier. The Dudleys, I mean, come on, dude. One of the most prestigious, decorated tag teams in all of wrestling.
They're decorated, but they look like fucking jobbers right now.
I've been watching them since, signed Guy Dudley and fucking all the old Dudleys, the ECW original Dudleys, not remake ECW, old ECW, like Hammerstein fucking ballroom bingo hall shit. And that was the amazing Dudleys. Cousin Spike.
Mm-hmm. All right, so last 2 rounds coming up. Round number 10, Braun Strowman went to Raw. Now remember, Bray Wyatt's on SmackDown. Breezango, or however the fuck you say it, they went to SmackDown Live. Bo Dallas went to Raw. Just pay attention to this. Eva Marie, Miss Red Hair Everything, SmackDown Live. Son of a... Oh, my God. I hope she can learn how to wrestle first.
I mean, Raw got Sin Cara. That seems only fair.
Yeah, I take that. All right. The Shining Stars, Epico and Primo, they both went to Raw. And then, of course, SmackDown Live picked the Vaudevillains.
I would have liked to see the Shining Stars go to SmackDown just to potentially get a push up out.
Yeah, they're going to
get Epico and Primo have been in the business for a while. They deserve it, but...
They're going to get buried. They're going to get buried. Round number 11. Raw picked up Alicia Fox. SmackDown Live picked up Eric Rowan. Dana Brooke it took the whole draft for Charlotte to get her little sidekick. I'm sorry. What was it? Mentor?
Mentee, whatever.
Whatever the fuck it's called. But Dana Brooke went to Raw. Now, the thing that I like, SmackDown Live picked up Mojo Riley. I'm sorry.
Raleigh.
You ain't hype.
Mojo Rawley.
Went to SmackDown Live from NXT. Hell yeah. And they got Zack Ryder, so there's potential for the hype bros. If I think they're trying to give Zack Ryder a push anyway. Number 58, Curtis Axel went to Raw, and the very last pick of 2016 WWE Draft, Carmella. How you doing?
Now let's talk about the one thing that pisses me off.
What, the undrafted?
Heath Slater did not get drafted.
He's so mad. He's already been on both shows.
He should be mad. He should be pissed straight, smooth the fuck off. Heath Slater absolutely deserves. Look at that man's social media presence. You know, all this talk about Wheel Shane got here from social. Heath Slater is like the social media guy outside of maybe Damian Sandow. Damian Sandow is another really good guy to follow, but of course he got released, so can't talk about him. Although he will be going to WCPW, which looks amazing. And I think they also announced they got Kurt Angle, which WCPW is blowing up. What Culture Pro Wrestling is going off. Built for Destruction was pretty badass. But Heath Slater not getting drafted and now having like a non-drafted jobber storyline is such bullshit. Like, they need to get him placed, and I hope he gets a push off this.
If he doesn't, they're making a mistake for letting him do that. I mean, this is all a ploy. It is. It's not just like, oh, yeah, we forgot about you. No, Homeboy's still under contract.
Yeah, but, I mean, they got to push him somehow. Right now, they're just pushing him to introduce talent. You know, they brought him out on SmackDown talking about how he was undrafted. Just so that they could talk about, you know, Rhino getting drafted to SmackDown and goring the shit out of him. Which, don't get me wrong, I love Rhino. Love Rhino to death. Super glad to see him back on the main roster.
Can't stay off that shit.
Rhino? I think, like,
Thinking.
him and Rob Van Dam back in the day, maybe, but nothing recent.
Well, him and RVD used to hang out and smoke joints together.
I'm just saying. RVD 420.
Rhino Gore missed because he was stoned.
Sure, we'll say that. Anyways, all right. So this next one's all Obi. We're gonna be letting Obi discuss the Cruiserweight Classic tournament. So go ahead and take it away, Obi.
Oh, I thought we were. Because it was fun and you weren't. Okay. Yeah. Give me 2 seconds, guys, and I'll actually get it. Actually, we're gonna wait for the next show for the Cruiserweight Classic, because then the Cruiserweight Classic will be done. We could talk about it. The tournament will be done by next week.
No, just the first round.
No, the first round's done already.
They've already closed the first round of the cruise. God,
Yeah.
I'm so far behind.
You were one video behind, dude.
Work,
You watched the one side, right?
Work's kicking my ass.
You watched
no,
the one side.
I watched 4 matches.
Oh.
Work's been kicking my ass. I'm so far
Okay,
behind.
anyway, well, we'll get him caught up here this next week with Cruiserweight Classic. So next show, we'll talk about it, because then they'll be near the semifinals, maybe quarterfinals. If depends on how they do it. They've been doing one a week, and it's on Wednesday. Let's see. You got the first round's done, so that's the quarterfinals. Quarterfinals is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 brackets. So then it goes down to 3. So it'll probably be another 3 or 4 weeks before it's done anyway. So we'll talk about it next show. We do want to get into, of course, BattleGround talk, because we do want to talk about that. And did you want to talk about the first Raw and SmackDown after BattleGround?
Yeah, just kind of touch on them, because I know time-wise
we're actually great. We're at 55 minutes. We got up to another 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Basically, you guys know about the points. Unfortunately, Fortengard did not send his stuff in, which was really it really sucks. But we'll I don't know. I don't want to do that. So he's just gonna be behind. So sorry, man. First one that we're just gonna go through: Sasha and partner versus Dana Brooke and Charlotte.
Yep. And of course, the mystery partner was Bayley. Super hyped about that. Wish I would have gotten my extra point for predicting Bayley. But yeah, Sasha and Bayley, and of course they pulled out the win. Like, you had to. It was Bayley's first show. You had to get Sasha in that women's championship contention, get her closer to that title match. So I mean that was just it was a good match. It was really well done.
The next match, the New Day versus the Wyatts.
Unfortunately, on this one, I lost a point, which if I had thought about it ahead of time, would have been a big thing. Wyatts, it was non-title. Wyatts were kind of the last ones there. So it was their last big hurrah match, I guess. And so the Wyatts pull out the win on that. So that was Obi's point there.
Yeah. All right. Rusev versus Ryder.
Rusev Crush.
As I said, beat his ass.
Yeah. And again, going back to the One Culture guys, they made a really good point. The more American stars and stripes looking that the opponent has, the more likely, the more they're going to get squashed. And Zack Ryder was red, white, and blue, head to toe, stars everywhere, and just got squashed.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Next one was Miz versus Darren Young.
No one got a point on that one.
We both were wrong. We thought Darren was going to get a push right now. I don't know.
Instead, it looked like they were bracketing him into kind of revisiting the old Bob Backlund storyline out of the 90s, where Bob Backlund kind of goes into those psychotic snaps where he would just randomly cross-face chicken wing people like crazy, Miz, Maurice tried to make it look like Backlund hit her when he didn't. And then, of course, Miz comes out and shoves Backlund, so Darren Young just locked the crossface in on him outside the ring. The craziest thing about this, though, was the bell rang, and they didn't tell us who won, who lost. They just cut to a promo for the next match, so everyone's kind of like, what the fuck just happened?
Right.
And apparently it was a double disqualification.
Yeah, because they both got counted.
So, of course, champion's advantage. Miz kept the belt. It was just kind of nutty how it all went down. I thought you'd think they'd have a little more, story in it, but I think it was just to promote the Darren Young kind of snapping like Bob Backlund thing.
I like it. I'm gonna be actually really, really excited to actually see what's gonna happen with it. The next one we have is Becky Lynch versus Natalya.
Becky Lynch versus Natalya. Well, you cover this one. I've been telling everybody who won
exactly. I don't remember. That's why I asked you if you.
Oh, Natalya.
I got the point.
Yeah. Natalya won that one, which pisses me off because when we talk about the next, the SmackDown after that, trust me, pisses me off.
Just beats it off. Anyway. Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. We both pick Sami Zayn, and we were both.
Oh, we were both right, dude.
I was gonna say we were both wrong.
Yeah, no, we were both right. That double haluva kick, easily that. Okay, so New Day had a huge scare. I honestly thought Big E broke his fucking neck. There was this running dive out of the ring. I thought he broke his neck. He landed square on his head. It was crazy. At the same time, Sami Zayn botched basically an outside the ring springboard moonsault and landed on the outside apron on his shoulder. The surgically repaired shoulder. It was gnarly looking. That match though, insanely good. I've watched Zayn Owens fight since the Indies. I've seen a lot of their matches. And I didn't think that I would be super impressed or that they would come up with anything really new. I mean, yeah, some of the old stigma, old stuff was there, the punches, the head punches in the middle of the ring and stuff and everywhere, just double punching each other. But then they pulled off some amazing stuff in just the storytelling moment where Sami Zayn hits the haluva kick, but instead of putting him down for the pin, he looks at him. He kind of sets him back up into the corner and hits him with another one to guarantee he cements it. It was really well done.
Really good fight. The next match, Cena, Enzo, and Cass versus the Club. And we both picked John Cena and Enzo and Cass. And we were both...
What, am I supposed to tell everybody everything that happened?
Right.
Yeah,
I'm just going so we can start talking about SmackDown.
Yeah, I mean,
My throat's starting to hurt.
of course, we were right on that one. You know, they had to set it up for Cena to get the rubber match. So I mean, that was the best way to do it. And of course, both sides of that splitting, Cena going to SmackDown, Enzo and Cass going to Raw, and AJ going to SmackDown, and the club going to Raw. It was definitely one of those. They had to give John Cena the opportunity to try and get that rubber match out of this whole thing.
And then now the basically the rivalry with the club and Enzo and Cass.
Yeah.
But with them, so now they're gonna, because they did it on, they battled on Raw already.
Yeah.
Which was really good. The last one we had Ambrose versus Roman Reigns versus Rollins. I got the point for that one. Now I will talk about this one if you want. That's fine. I remember this one really good. I picked Ambrose just because he's just crazy enough to win it. Now, in hindsight, why did I pick him like that? I don't know, because Raw had more of a chance to get the championship, and of course, right afterwards, the only thing she's like, Stephanie McMahon was talking to everybody and just dogging the shit out of Roman Reigns. You know, you're just terrible. You lost it for us. And then she comes up, she's like, I'm not a good guy. You're not a bad guy. You're a loser. And then he just stood there like, damn, bitch. I want to fuck your ass up.
But I mean, for this one, I'll be honest. I took Rollins. Had we made our predictions after the draft, I would have probably changed that. But pre-draft, Rollins had a really good setup for it. But I lost it.
Believe in the crazy, bro.
I mean, even without that, like, if I had seen how it drafted out when they first round Rollins, I knew he wasn't going to win. I was pissed.
Right. Now, for everybody's, if you want to know, points are as follows now. I am at 88. Falo's at 89. Which I've caught up with him almost. I was 3 points behind him at the beginning, or 2 points behind him. And then, of course, if Ford would have done it, he was at 80. He's still at 82. Hopefully, he can get some ground next couple pay-per-views, because there's going to be double, right? So
I mean, well, we're gonna have to set something up where he can try to come from behind. So we'll see how that goes.
We'll give him a chance, guys. Maybe we'll give him 2 points for everyone he gets right next week or something, or the following. So we'll do it. But anyway. We want to talk about, last thing we're going to talk about, guys, and then we're going to cut it out, but we're going to talk about the first Raw and SmackDown after BattleGround. I'm going to let Fatal start just because he has that memory of his, and I actually have to look some stuff up to refresh my memory, so
first Raw that we saw, of course, started out with the whole, Stephanie and Mick Foley doing a big thing in the beginning, bringing out the whole locker room, kind of introducing everybody to their new Raw. And, that's where the whole, you're not a good guy, you're not a bad guy, you're a loser thing comes out. And then they announced the Universal title. Now, A, worst name ever. B, that puts them at 5 titles on their damn show. The Cruiserweight, the Tag Team, the Women's, the Universal, and the US or the Intercontinental, whichever one they got. I don't. Yeah. So they've got those, and it's just kind of, I don't know. Like I wasn't super hype about it. Of course, they announced that they were going to do this big match for like this pseudo tournament, not really a tournament.
Two 4-man. It was two fatal 4-ways.
2 fatal 4-ways.
And then the winners of those got to battle each other to be
in the main event of Raw for the number 1 contendership of the Universal title
at SummerSlam
against Seth Rollins, who just automatically got a free pass into the match.
He's the first pick. He's ranked number 1 in their company, so that's
we'll go
he automatically gets it, and then somebody has to battle for the right to battle him.
Right. Needless to say, the 2 fatal 4-ways were kind of predictable. The setup was good and everything. The participants for each of the fatal 4-ways, hopefully Obi has that information. I know, I think it was Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, Sheamus, and Cesaro, I want to say, for the first match.
Yeah. Got it right here.
I don't think so. I thought it was like AJ.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. So AJ won that first match. I thought so. And then the next one was Finn Balor, Sheamus, John Cena, and Rusev.
Yes.
And in that one, Finn Balor actually won it. So Finn Balor AJ Styles was the main event of Raw. And it lined up pretty interestingly because, you know, Finn Balor AJ Styles, both very fast-paced, adaptable to each other's styles. Really, really amazing match. Super well done. Looked phenomenal. Like, don't, you know, pardon the pun. And it done really well. Finn Balor actually got the push out of it though, and that shocked the hell out of me. So Finn Balor will be facing Seth Rollins for the Universal title, the WWE Universal Championship. Other than that, I mean, for the most part, I hate to say it, those felt like the only terrible matches. I know there was some other small stuff. What else was there on Raw? Anything really massive that I'm forgetting? Oh yeah, duh. Of course, there was one really massive event I'm forgetting. Charlotte versus Sasha Banks
For the women's title.
And the match was good. It was pretty good. There were some botches, but by the end of it, Sasha Banks actually pulled out the win. We have a new women's championship, so Sasha Banks, the legit boss, now holds the gold. You know, I can only think Charlotte's going to call for her rematch at SummerSlam, or, you know, enact her rematch clause at SummerSlam.
Hopefully.
Yeah, like she pulled an Eddie Guerrero, which I thought was pretty clever, where she threw the belt at Dana Brooke and then kind of hit the outside of the floor, so it looks like she just got hit with the belt, and the referee ejected Dana Brooke. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, he hit me with a belt. You're out of here. She's like, what the? I didn't do anything.
Yeah, and so that was kind of it had its kind of up there moments. That was pretty good. Enzo and Cass started. Who did they start in on? They started in on someone new. Or was it the Shining Stars interrupted them?
Yeah, they did, and then Enzo and Cass beat the hell out of them.
Yeah, so I mean, that's, I don't know. Like, one of the other big things I think that caught my attention was Braun Strowman. Because he's got this new character, and they gave, like, there were 2 squash matches with jobbers, and Braun Strowman just decimates this poor kid. I mean, absolutely rips him shitless.
Yeah, I don't agree with what they did. I just don't. Sorry. I don't agree with it for 2 reasons. Okay? If you're this big guy and you've been in for a little while now, you're learning stuff, you know what to do, get in there with somebody decent. Get in there with somebody that people actually know his name.
Well, I think they just don't want to project a storyline on him yet. So they're just establishing that, you know, even without Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman is this big, massive beast of a man in this tower of just muscle and ass kickery.
Okay. I just don't. I just wish they would have. I don't know. I wish they would have given him a little, at least somebody that is known, somebody that, you know, a jobber. Like, you know who would have been the best person to come out there?
Who?
Heath Slater.
But see, here's the thing: you put Heath Slater in there, and then he squashes Heath Slater. Well, Heath Slater isn't drafted to Raw, and then you have to worry about the issue of, oh, is this going to lead to a Braun Strowman Heath Slater match? I think honestly, they're saving that match. I could see them in a future Raw, Heath Slater being like, I should have been drafted. I'm amazing. And then they go, well, all you got to do is beat this guy in a match. And if you win your match tonight, we'll draft you. We'll pick you up. They'll be like, I got this. I can do it. And all of a sudden it goes, all right, awesome. And you hear Braun Strowman's new music hit. And he's just like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Let's get into the first SmackDown. The first SmackDown was the following night, July 19th, I believe. Yeah.
Don't ask me exact dates. I'm shit for exact dates.
I want to say it was July 19th because BattleGround was on the 17th, correct?
I mean, well, what's today's what?
It was last weekend.
No, it was Tuesday.
Huh?
It was Tuesday.
Hasn't there been 2 Raw and SmackDown?
No.
So it was the 26th.
There we go.
Tell anybody. The 26th. So SmackDown, I know for a fact, like Becky Lynch and of course Natalya were at it again on SmackDown Live.
Yeah, and then they give Becky Lynch the freaking win.
Yeah,
like I expect them to give it to her on a pay. Oh no, let's not give it to her on the pay-per-view. Let's give it to her on SmackDown Live.
Yeah. Now,
cost me a point.
Okay, here we go. I got it now. The one thing that did happen there was a WWE World Title #1 contenders match 6-pack. It's all 6. Which is it? It was just all 6 people, right? In there.
Well, they originally announced 5, and then there was a battle royal for the 6th man to get into the 6-pack challenge. As they kind of opened the night, and that was pretty well. Like the very first match of the night was the battle royal, which turned out to be Apollo Crews who won that. You know, Apollo Crews won the battle royal, and that was surprised. Like there were a lot of tag teams, and we were kind of predicting, okay, the tag teams are not going to win it necessarily, but it was interesting. Like when Apollo Crews pulled it off, it was really nice. Given the up and comer the push like that seemed really strong. Even though he didn't win it overall, putting him in that kind of title scene idea, planting the seed, if you will,
right,
makes it really good.
And then we had the 6-pack, which was John Cena, Baron Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Bray Wyatt, AJ Styles, and then the guy that won the Battle Royal, Apollo Crews, right? And then basically Dolph Ziggler, out of nowhere, really. I mean, it was AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler at the very end there, and it was something to where like all of a sudden you just seen a super kick and AJ just get laid the fuck out. And I was like, oh my god! We both looked at each other when we were watching. And we're like, oh my god, they're finally giving Ziggler a fucking push. Yeah,
because it was, what was it? AJ hit the phenomenal forearm on John Cena, then just turns around and did one of the meanest super kicks I think Dolph Ziggler's ever thrown. It looked so clean. It was so well done.
Let's see, what else do we have on here? I know Randy Orton showed up, SmackDown Live, and then had a match. Because the Miz was coming out there with, in his clothes,
Miz TV,
and he came out there and had he come out, and Randy's like, you know what? I need to warm up for SummerSlam. Let's do this. And he's talking shit, and then basically go to the Miz and is saying, you know what? You want to? Actually, Maurice said it.
Yeah.
Like, you want to do this? Okay. He accepts, and Miz is like, bitch, what the fuck is your problem? Don't accept that shit. So basically, it only takes one to go to Viperville, right?
Yeah. we've all learned one RKO will bring you to Viperville. About 20 suplexes to Suplex City. Here soon we'll have measurements for all of the WWE maps. 3 stupid decisions and 5 moves will get you to C Nation. Few things like that, but for the most part, I mean, that was kind of the big pulls. I mean, we saw, who was it? Mojo Riley thing. Mojo Riley running out to save Zack Ryder.
Yeah, the match was over, basically, because it was Rusev.
But Rusev was Raw, isn't he?
Who was the...
I don't, that's what I'm saying, like, because I remember it was Mojo Riley, and well, maybe that was at BattleGround, and I just.
Or both mixed.
I'm so lost. I'm so tired. I gotta quit doing podcasts when I'm tired as shit.
Well, no, you gotta remember, you gotta do them.
I mean, even then, I just gotta not do them. Tired as shit.
We got 2 quick things. Got a couple returns that came up that we were both actually. This one is best. But remember with us talking about the one-man band, Heath Slater coming out and just talking, saying, you know, what the fuck's going on? Why am I not in this? Why did I not get drafted? I'm a person, blah, blah, blah. I'm a, 2-time tag team champion. Like
the number 1 unsigned talent.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden he just pops up, and guess who is there when he turns around? Rhino. Rhino gets in the ring. He starts mouthing off to him. Rhino runs at him. He dodges, and then when he turns around, he catches a fucking spear right in the...
No, it wasn't even that.
That was just a straight...
Keith was jaw-jacking to Shane about, I'm the number one unsigned talent. I should be I'm the biggest, unacquired draft pick. And all of a sudden, Shane's like, I think you're right. I think I am looking at the number 1 unacquired draft pick. And all of a sudden, Rhino came out from under the ring and is standing behind him. And when Heath Slater turns around, he just eats a gore, just a strong gore.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to give you guys a chance and to guess this. Now, if you're listening 2 minutes from now, you're going to know, so don't cheat. I want you to guess the one guy that Fatal talks about, not all the time, but you'll hear him say it a lot. A lot of that. This is one of the best wrestling superstars. Literally, he is a superstar that's come out and kind of got pushed out. Do you want to introduce him? The guy that came back on SmackDown Live?
Oh, no, I know what you're talking about. He's not back yet. He'll be back in 2 weeks, I think they said.
Well, he's coming to SmackDown Live.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm saying, do you want to say it?
Oh, absolutely. It's Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin, the gold standard, if you will. Back in the day, him and Charlie Haas, really, those guys remind me a lot. Like, the American Alphas remind me a lot of what Charlie Haas and Shelton Benjamin used to be. And now, Shelton Benjamin's coming back. I mean, there's a moment in WWE history I will never forget. And it's Shelton Benjamin going for a springboard jump into the ring at Shawn Michaels, mid-air eating sweet chin music, and it just looked so flawless. It was so perfect. And I don't know, like, highly athletic, insanely good technical wrestling skills. I don't know why they ever got rid of Shelton Benjamin. But
go ahead.
The fact that he's returning, I'm as excited as I can possibly be.
Do you know who reminds me of Charlie Haas?
Who?
Apollo Crews.
No.
There's a tag team coming. That's I'm calling it right now. That they're gonna be tag team before too long. I'm just saying. I'm calling it.
If they do, that'd be an insanely athletic tag team. I'm sure they could probably go really far with Cruz's strength and up with Shelton Benjamin's kind of semi-high flying, heavy technical background. I think they'd go really far as a tag team, but I think this is Shelton Benjamin's time to not think about tag team and come back as a solo star and really make a name for himself.
Okay. Well, that just kind of blew my discussion out of the way. But anyway, guys, we are out of time. You hurt my feelings sometimes. Just kidding. We're out of town, guys. If you guys want to, you guys can go to geekyantics.net and listen to any of the podcasts from NSFW that you have missed. If you wanted to go do that, you go on down to geekyantics.net/podcast. And then you guys can actually go to, if you guys want to watch a different podcast or listen to a different podcast, just go to geekyantics.net/schedule. If you guys want to get a hold of us, here's what you can do. You guys can send us some email at mail@geekyantics.net, or you guys can leave a voicemail/text message, 646-801-2149, and we'll get those. And when we get some, we'll play them the following show, and, answer your question if you have it. If not, then, yeah. You guys do want to support us in our network with geekyantics.net. You guys can go to listen to all the other streamers, podcasters, gamers, and just watch them do their thing. Of course, we want big shout outs to any of the sponsors that from geekyantics.net. If you guys want to go check out any of those sponsors, I don't know them right offhand. Sorry, geekyantics.net/sponsors. And then you'll be able to, even if you just need some help, go there and it's all right there. Blaze, you got anything to say before we get out of here?
Nope. I look forward to seeing you guys at the next show.
These later fuckers. Guys, so we went X2. That right there is Blaze. Make sure you guys check us out on Twitter at TSE Blades or at Fatal_Blades F8. No, it's not underscore. It's just Fatal Blades F8TL. Or you guys can hit me up on at TSE Obi-Wan. And of course, YouTube pages. We're both starting a YouTube page. So make sure you guys go check it out. Mine for sure is it's TSE Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you guys can't find it right away, just look out down below. I'll set up some links so you guys can go right to it. That's me. That's him. Blades. Obi. We're out, guys. Peace. I don't know what to say. No?